What's up, everybody? Easy here, back with another NFL video. Hopefully, week one went well for you guys. For me personally, it was very profitable, especially on the prop side of things. DFS wise, honestly, as I was watching the games, I was not expecting to win. But then when I opened up my app and saw almost triple times my money, I was excited. But if you followed week one's video, you had a lot of good stuff in there, a lot of great value plays, and we were on the right track. Debo Samuel did his thing. He was on the Millie Maker winner. Jonathan Taylor did his thing. A lot of good plays. So we looking to repeat that in week two. And like I said in the week one video too, like these first couple weeks are the true preseason. Like most of these stars didn't play during preseason, so they're still finding their chemistry. They're still, getting their legs under them. So continue to play the uncertainty. Like if you feel like you got a strong stand somewhere, lean into it, especially if you feel good about it, because gut feeling never lies, man. But let's get the homework out the way. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hit that bell icon so you can get all our content as soon as it drops. I make daily DFS videos and also prop based videos as well. So Thursday night football video will literally drop right after this one. So stay tuned for that. But let's go ahead and get into this. Let me adjust this real quick. There we go. Now, this is my first look, seeing the pricings and everything. And right off the bat, Josh Allen, 7,100, Lamar, 7K, they'll always stand out. You got Jalen Hurts at 6,800 going up against the Chiefs. Looks very interesting as well. Man, Joe Burrow was bad on Sunday against Cleveland. He's at 6,600. So looking at these top price quarterbacks, man, Jalen Hurts looks like the best one to me right now at 6,800. Now, once again, this slate, there's going to be a lot of good wide receiver value, I believe. And I think we can pay down at wide receiver and continue to pay up at quarterback and running back. Last week, we were big on the guys like Baker Mayfield. I did like Bryce Young, but then Jalen Coker got hurt and Adam Thielen got traded, so I had to move away from that. Justin Fields at 5,400 was a gift, and I'm seeing him right now at 5,700, and I'm gonna tell you that's a gift once again. But yeah, looking at the top end quarterbacks, stopping right around the 6K range, the one I'm really intrigued to get is Jalen Hurts going up against that KC defense that could not stop the Chargers at all. Justin Herbert looked great against them, especially when he decided to use his legs and run the ball. Jalen Hurts is one of the best running quarterbacks in the league. I think he will absolutely torch Kansas City this weekend. Kansas still have a good enough offense to just move the ball against Philly. I mean, Dak Prescott, especially when Jalen Carter went out, which is at the beginning of the game, they were moving the ball pretty well against this Philly defense. And we most likely Jalen Carter will get suspended for spitting on somebody. So I do. If he misses this game, Kansas City can definitely move the ball, and you won't worry about having another blowout that could potentially take points away from Jalen Hurts. But I'm not. I usually don't fear blowouts in football like I do NBA because, for one, if a blowout happens, Jalen Hurts is most likely one of the reasons why, and also there's still good chances where he'll play into the fourth quarter still. Now, Josh Allen against the Jets is an honorable mention because, hey, man, you saw what old ass Aaron Rodgers did to this Jets defense. Now, he has some extra incentive to go off against a team that he doesn't like and screwed over for a couple years. But yeah, I think Josh Allen, especially after that performance on Sunday Night Football, can definitely keep the good times rolling there too. But I like Jalen Hurts as my high end, like my pay up quarterback this week. Now we move on to the mid range and like cheaper quarterbacks. And honestly, man, this week is pretty simple for me. I'm not going to lie. I see Jalen Hurts. I see Justin Fields at 5,700 going up against a Buffalo defense that we saw could not stop the run at all. Like Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry just shredded through this team. And now you saw Justin Fields look good against a tough Steelers defense. Justin Fields can run against this Buffalo defense, and Brees Hall looked really good last week, and he honestly got lucky to not score higher than he did, unlucky to not score higher than he did. So I'm really liking Justin Fields here, and he's overall my favorite quarterback on the slate this week at 5,700. I just feel like this, kind of like I said on the week one video, this is probably the last time you'll see him under 6K this season. I feel like after this game, especially if he puts up the type of game I'm expecting him to put up, he will not be 5,700. But anything below him, I mean, Caleb Williams, he can make stuff happen. Aaron Rodgers looked good. Trevor, I just can't do Trevor Lawrence. He sucks, man. Now, Spencer Rattler looked good. Just bear with me. Spencer Rattler looked good against this Arizona defense. Bryce Young at 5,100 is not the worst tournament quarterback. Now, I get it. Carolina sucked, but they also had a relatively tough matchup to start the season. And then it didn't help that there was a rain delay that happened as well. I mean, everything was just thrown off in that game. So I'll cut him some slack. But if you want to get jiggy, you just want a cheap GPP quarterback. I don't mind Bryce Young, but really, honestly, I'm keeping it real simple, man. This week, it's Jalen Hurts, it's Justin Fields. They're the top of my list, especially for single entries and cash games and all of that. So let's plug in Jalen Hurts as my favorite. Not Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields is my favorite quarterback here. Now we go to the running backs and let's see who's the most expensive. Oh, we got Derrick Henry up there at 8,200. Great game. Fumble at the end really sucks. Fun story. That fumble actually made me $600 that night because of I had a bunch of Bills players and they all hit their props in that stretch. So that fumble worked out very well for me and my brother as well, who made over 1K. So yeah, that was some good times. But looking into this, Barkley 8K, I'm gonna just go ahead plug him in. I'm gonna just go ahead plug him in. $7,500 McCaffrey. We got Juwan Jennings hurt. We got George Kittle hurt as well. I'm going just like week one, man. I'm going back to McCaffrey. And before we even get to wide receiver, I don't know what his price is, but I don't think it's hot as it. I don't think he'll be priced properly. Ricky Pearsall. So I'm gonna just give those two out right now. McCaffrey had a very good workload. Brian Robinson did his thing as well, but I do think McCaffrey can shred this New Orleans defense. We saw what Trey Benson and uh, James Conner did to this defense. They literally need McCaffrey to do everything in this game. He's going to be wide receiver one. He's going to be running back one. He may play damn near every snap that he can. Now, the one thing you'll get scared of is the game going out of hand. But if it does, he is the main offensive piece here. So, really, really like McCaffrey in this game once again. And I'm targeting these bell cows, man. 6,700 for Jonathan Taylor is still cheap. Now the matchup leaves a lot to be desired, but I don't mind going back to him. Chase Brown going up against Jacksonville. I mean, Chuba Hubbard still did his thing, still got a touchdown. I don't mind him at all going up against Jacksonville. He literally played basically every single snap week one. If you give me a running back who's going to be on the field every single offensive snap and it's cheaper than 7K, you have to look at that. So I don't hate Chase Brown at all this week. Where did he go? Oh, there he is. Trying to give y'all a visual, but this thing's not cooperating. I got it zoomed so you guys can actually see the players and stuff. But yeah, I like Chase Brown a lot. Kyron Williams going up against that Tennessee defense, don't mind it at all. Don't really his workload. I mean, I'm still up in the air about it, but I mean, 6,300 is cheap enough. I'm not scared to pair Brees Hall and Justin Fields together because 6,200, the price tag is very very cheap. Javante Williams. I mean, I'll let ownership dictate that one for me, but one player I do want to talk about is Travis Etienne Jr. He has the job. Especially with Tank Bisbee gone now to the Philadelphia Eagles. Travis Etienne is running back one, and he played a healthy amount of snaps in week one as well. Because there was everyone was scared whether Etienne is still the guy or is Tootin coming in? Is Tank Bisbee going to take away from him as well? But Travis Etienne pretty much absolutely demolished that Carolina defense, and he rightfully, deserves a look here at 5,700 because that price tag is super cheap. Dylan Sampson had a really good game against this Cincinnati defense, and this Cincinnati defense just bleeds points to everyone. So I don't hate Travis Etienne at all at 5,700, and him and McCaffrey will probably start a lot of my lineups. Going down to like the cheaper running backs, I was real disappointed in Ken Walker's usage, man. That one hurt me personally. Sampson at 5,200 is not a bad play at all. Don't mind him because he had a healthy workload going up against this Buffalo defense that, I mean, not Buffalo, Baltimore defense that, I'm not saying it's an easy matchup, but Cooks and Josh Allen were able to get around them pretty easily. So I'm not hating that matchup for him at all, but that's probably the lowest I'd want to go because once you get down to this range, you're just really dumpster diving. So I'd say the lowest I'm willing to go this week is Dylan Sampson. I don't feel like you need to go any lower. Charbonnet at 51 is interesting, but I want to pay up at running back this week. There's some really good pay up options. Jonathan Taylor, Chase Brown, Devon Achan. You got Jameer Gibbs going up against this Chicago team. Barkley against Kansas. Barkley's a cheat code. He can go off against anybody. And, he had a decent game in week one, but the standards that we set for him, we still called it a bad game. So that tells you everything you need to know about him. But to plug in right now, I got McCaffrey in there now. Like I said, most likely pair him with Etienne Jr. And I may do the three running back thing this week. But let's go over the wide receiver now. And Garrett Wilson and Garrett Wilson and Fields, they look. If you can't tell, I really like the Jets. I really like the Jets Buffalo game in general, like as a game stack that I feel like could put up a lot of points. Garrett Wilson looked good. 6,500, not bad. But let's see who's the most expensive. Chase again. Now, Jamar Chase let a lot of people down. I wasn't too high on him, and that helped me out a lot coming into that day. And against Jacksonville, now I know their defense is showing fourth right now. Ignore that. That's mainly because they played Carolina, and Carolina's pass game really couldn't get nothing going. But if you really look at the numbers, I mean, Bryce Young missed Ted McMillan a lot in that game, and his numbers could have been way better. And like I said, they haven't really faced a challenge yet. And I do think Joe Burrow will come out here with a mission this week and try to bounce back from the bad game that he just had. So I don't mind going back to Chase this week, but I'll have to see when the time comes how much I'll have of him. Puka Nakua, always that guy going up against Tennessee barbecue chicken matchup. He's gonna get the volume. He's a really good, a really good wide receiver and can get you the touchdowns as well. So do not hate Puka at all. CD Lamb, same thing, 7,800. Don't hate him, but it's just will I be it? Like if I have enough salary to get to them, I will. But right now I'm prioritizing more the running back pay ups. St. Brown, I'm not going there. Brian Thomas Jr. It's funny. He had his better games with Mac Jones that opposed to Trevor Lawrence. So the jury's still out with their chemistry. So I'm a wait and see on that one. Mm, AJ Brown, I was all over his unders on week one, and that paid out nicely. Let's see what else. Like the top wide receivers, like all these guys are, these guys are good. They're decent. They'll do what they need to do. The Jackson Smith and Jigbus, JSN, like they'll do their thing. But the price tags, man, like there are way more appealing price tags than the pay down guys. Like Ted McMillan could be in a bounce back spot at 5,400. Pearsall at 5,300. He's literally the only healthy starting wide receiver right now. Because let's type in Juwan Jennings real quick and just see what's the word on him. Let's just see what's the word on him. Juwan Jennings. appears to have avoided anything serious. Looks to be clear. So it's a wait and see game. But either way, he's banged up. So like, it's gonna be hard to get away from a $5,300 Pearsall. Like, he's gonna be the main guy. He has the big playability where even if he's not getting the volume throughout the game, all it takes is two plays and he can get you 20 points just like that. And I love players like that, especially in tournaments. So really like the Pearsall types. Jerry Judy, I don't mind going up against that Baltimore defense that got shredded by Josh Allen and them. Joe Flacco's still gonna air that ball. Keon Coleman at 5,100. That's still way too cheap. Stephon Diggs against that Miami team that I just don't know what's going on over there. They got shredded by Danny Dimes. Stephon Diggs could have a big game at 5K. Like, there's so much good value down here. Like, let's go ahead and just plug in Pearsall because I love him once again at 5,300. Let's go ahead. Let's dumpster dive some more. Joshua Palmer, big play guy. Shout out to him. Cashed us out nicely, especially with that last catch. So don't mind him at all. So there's a couple names I'm looking for down here. Tesla, probably won't go there. This kid had a lot of opportunities as well. Ayo Manor, I think was his name. He had 7 targets in week one. And, a couple of them he was missed, but at 3,200, seeing 7 targets, that's always exciting. But yeah, that mid range, man, it stacks. So I'd rather much just eat within this 5 to 6K range and then pay up elsewhere. And then if I can afford like a CD Lamb, Lamb would be my favorite option out of all the pay up wide receivers. So I could just plug him in. And then really, man, it's just the Pearsalls of the world. The Garrett Wilson is 65. Don't hate that at all either. But then you got Xavier Worthy if he's healthy. I mean, how much is Hollywood Brown this week? Where is he? Hollywood Brown at 5,200. If Worthy's not playing, he's the guy. He's the one that they'll be looking at. I'm pretty sure Juju is there somewhere. Tet, he still had 11, even though Bryce Young missed them a lot. Keep calling him Bryce Mitchell with UFC on my mind. But so there's a lot of good wide receiver plays that are cheap, man. So let's go ahead and move on to the tight end side of things. And shout out to Harold Fanning Jr. because I did not expect him to get that much love already this early into the season. And hey, if he's gonna keep getting that much play time, which he shows that he can handle it, 3,100 is a great price tag down low. But let's see who the expensive. No, 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 no. It's like Trey McBride. He's good to get you double digits. He's their wide receiver one pretty much, but he just doesn't get the touchdowns. Now, the week that he gets the touchdowns, you're gonna eat. But man, 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 it's tough. Now, a guy I do like a lot is Tyler Warren. I was on them the week one, and it looked good. And against this Denver team, where this Denver defense is real good, Danny Dimes may need Tyler Warren a lot. So I do like him a ton at wide receiver this week. Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, they're always going to be reliable. Like them as well at 4K and 3,900 respectively. And Jake Ferguson definitely could have a bounce back game at 3,900. Juwan Johnson, 3,600. Always reliable. Always going to find a way to get you some points. So don't hate him at all. Luke, I believe Luke is his first name, but Farrell. Yep, Luke Farrell. He'll be starting because Kittle's on IR. So he'll probably be one of the more popular cheap options. Somehow Noah Fant found the end zone, so that's a thing for Minnesota. But really, when it comes to tight end, if I'm going any lower here, I'm going for Harold Fanning Jr. Let's see, is there anything worth it under him? I mean, AJ, no, no, no. Arroyo, no, no, it's not worth it. Dennis Allen did get himself a touchdown. I really don't want to go lower than Harold Fanning Jr. And really, if I can help it, I don't want to go any lower than Juwan Johnson. Kincaid looked pretty good in the first game too, but I think my favorite tight end this week will be Tyler Warren. And then defense, take your pick. I tend to just pick the cheapest defense unless there's one that's really standing out that I could just if I want to pick against the team. Let's see here. You could take Arizona against Carolina. You could take Niners against New Orleans. That's an easy spot to target. Pittsburgh could, or even Rams defense could give Cam Ward a tough time, the rookie, as he's adjusting to the league. But 3,100, not bad. What else? What else? What else? I mean, Tua and them look terrible. So Patriots defense, Christian Gonzalez and that crew, they could give Tua another hard time. But I think Tua may bounce back this week. But 2,800 price tag does look good. Kyler Murray can still fumble the ball and take some sacks, so I don't mind a $2,300 Panthers defense either. You saw Ravens had some turnovers, so Browns defense 2,200. Browns defense actually played pretty well against Joe Burrow. Can't tell if it was Browns defense being too good or Myles Garrett just wrecking stuff, and a combination of Myles Garrett wrecking everything and Joe Burrow just being too bad. But 2,200, that's not bad. So like defense, you can just take your pick at whatever. I'll throw in for now. For now, I'll just throw in Patriots because I like seeing Tua and them struggle. But here's a little starting point for the lineups. I'm still debating though the CD Lamb bit of it, whether I'm going him or whether I'm going Garrett Wilson. I guess that'll dictate how much of that Buffalo and Jets game I have, but I'm a single entry player, so you'll probably see me in all the single entry contests. I'll mix and match in there. I'm not really one for the big GPPs, but appreciate the love and support per usual, guys. Let me know down in the comment section below who's your favorite play this week. How did you do week one? And if you have any questions as well, just let me know down below. I try to answer every single one of them. Let's get to that hefty bag, and I'm out.